Hello, welcome to Clear Minds and Self Healing. My name is Aso, and I'm super excited to have you here today. I want to thank all my subscribers, and if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and turn on the notification button so that you can get all the content that I upload every Saturday morning. These videos are centered around self-awareness, reflection with the purpose of creating an awareness around the things that impact on you, your behaviors, your past, the things that embody you, the things that people put on you, and how we deal with those or fail to deal with them. And for today's video, I've chosen to title it Control. Control of our emotions, control of our minds and souls, and control of the things that are not even coming from us. So, what is within our control and what is out of our control, and how can we really deal with those things? And to do that reflection, I've chosen to use the Serenity Prayer. And whether you're religious or not, I want you to do this reflection with me and bear with me as I use it for this message. God grants me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And I just think this message sits within the topic that I want to share with you today. So now let's break that prayer into 3 parts. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. And now let's hold there and look at the things that we cannot change. In today's world, there's so much going on around us that we have no control over. I am a Black woman in today's world, and I choose to see myself as a beautiful, empowered Black woman, irrespective of all the other challenges that identity brings with it. And as a mother, you worry endlessly sick about what could potentially happen to your children, and you have no control over those things. You can do your best to create the safety in your environment, but the rest is out of your control. So as you go into relationships, employment, companies, and you worry endlessly about the what ifs of tomorrow, everything that can potentially go wrong in that scenario that stops you from putting your best foot forward in those situations. Bring the best of you and leave what's out of your control out of your control. So as we reflect on the leaving the things that are out of your control aside, I don't want you to go diminishing yourself and seeing your abilities or inabilities as things that are out of your control. No. Disasters like the pandemic are out of your control. So you cannot do anything about those, but you can make the most of those situations. Yesterday is out of your control because you've already lived it and it's past. And as much as you worry endlessly about the mistakes you made and the decisions you did or didn't take, those are all out of your control. So stop running yourself down and put those to bed. So that's the first part of this reflection. And I want you to really name 5 things that keep coming into your life that are out of your control and put them aside. And as much as you don't forget about them every time the thought comes into your head, and instead of dwelling in it for 5 hours, you take 5 minutes and put it out. And gradually you'll find that you're investing your time and energy on things that you can actually change as you go along. And now on to the second part of that prayer. The courage to change the things that I can. And that's not saying that that change is going to be easy or that you can just flip a finger and change those things. It is saying that it is actually within your control. And so I want you to see yourself as a dream bearer. You were put into this world with unique advantages, unique qualities. You have a message to share. You have a story to tell. And that's your dream and that's your vision. But sadly, as dream bearers, we are also dream killers. Because the sooner that dream pops its head into our bodies or minds, we start to kill it with all the stories that we narrate about what will go wrong if we were to chase that dream. The insecurities, the what ifs of tomorrow's uncertainty. That goes into the pile of the things you cannot change, remember? So, as a dream bearer, you have to transform yourself. You have to build your skills. You have to build your confidence to be able to own that dream, to own that role as a serve leader, as a serve manager, as a serve boss who will empower you enough to nurture and grow those dreams as opposed to murder them. And so for today's reflection, I have put together 10 things that I think if you can master and control, you will be able to nurture and grow those dreams and grow your abilities as a serve leader. Now, I want you to pick 5 of these or name 5 that resonate with you. Pick 5 things that you think will grow you and nurture your dreams. So now for me, the first one is emotional resilience. We need to be able to be in control of our emotions before we can lead ourselves through difficult situations or before we can even lead anyone else. And I think we live in a world which is a roller coaster of events which bring up a roller coaster of emotions for us. And being able to master those emotions, being able to breathe through the tears and to walk through the rain and to silence those external voices and build your internal voice is going to really move you from one place to the next. Mindset is number 2. And as much as it keeps coming into our videos, I want you to really start reflecting and building on your mindset, because that's the one thing that when it changes, you will fly endlessly without limit. Now think about this. Are you a half glass kind of person? A glass half full or a glass half empty? Because when we are presented as with opportunities, that's how we see them. If I drove to your house and gave you a half glass of water, will you drink it and be grateful? Will you fill it up? Will you find your own way to add on those skills and what is left of that half gift that I gave you? Or will you spend time telling the whole world that all she gave you was a half opportunity or a broken one? Yes, the broken ladders, those that you see as not good enough, are for you to then mend, are for you to seek alternatives of how you can climb if it's not going to be that ladder. So don't sit there and endlessly criticize the opportunities, but do something to make them worthy and valuable for you. The third one is self-esteem. Now, you can only take those steps if you see yourself as capable and valuable and strong enough. And that's actually something that's within your control. Build on your self-confidence. Build on your self-esteem, self-love. We talked about how you can cultivate self-love in our last video. And those are things that you can control. If you sit here and see everyone else around you as too high above your expectation, that will limit your relationships. That will limit your employment. That will limit everything around you because you're stuck in this broken identity. The fourth one is for you to be an open book. Be an open book for 2 reasons. The first one being that you are open and honest with yourself. And when you open through the pages of your book and the chapters, you should be honest enough to say that you're stuck in yesterday. You're filling all these pages with yesterday's emotions. You should be honest to say to yourself that this relationship is running me down, is bringing the worst out of me, is bringing the best out of me. This company is going to kill me. These hours and this lack of appreciation, you are the author. You have to be the biggest, most self-critical person in that book that you're writing so that you can progress and use the lessons from one page to make the next page even more valuable. The fifth one is the environment. Now, as much as we have doubt in ourselves, and as much as sometimes we try to silence our voices, the voice of the environment can be very loud. And if you're not careful, they will write all over your pages for you, defining your story for you, dictating your identity for you. So you have to get better at silencing those voices, making sure that they don't take over your life. And sometimes we are the ones who align our lives with those environmental triggers. You had that tragic accident, but the clothes that you were wearing in that accident are still hanging at the forefront of your wardrobe, re-traumatizing you. Those relationship reminders, those heartbreak reminders, you have to get better at really aligning your life with positive things, because unconsciously those things that we keep dwelling in, they pull us down without us even realizing it. The fifth one is self-control. Be able to control yourself when people want you to jump at their own tunes. Be able to control yourself when you dictate your own stuff to you. Be able to know what you need to pick now and what opportunity needs to go at the bottom of the basket and wait for the turn. Because some of those things are more valuable. Some of those things are more impactful, and we need to address those first. So self-control is limitless. It goes from what you want others to not put on you, and how you put those action plans, how you take that courage and use it to move on in life. The seventh one is fear. Fear is crippling. Fear is that thing that murders those dreams that you bear. Because when you start wondering about everything that can possibly go wrong, that's what holds you into your now forever. But the thing with fear is you can overcome it by telling yourself that if you fall, you will stand up and keep walking. If you fall, you will find the pieces of your puzzle in that fall. Because for you to succeed, the whole puzzle needs pieces that you find along the way on your journey to that end goal. So when you trip and fall, you get up and evaluate the shoes you were wearing, evaluate the speed you were using, evaluate the route you took, and evaluate the people you had with you on that trip. And then change what you can change and get back on that journey. Now, number 8 is boundaries. Boundaries and routines. Set your boundaries clearly, both for the people outside of your life and for yourself. And when you tell yourself that you wake up at 6 a.m. and do that run, wake up and do that run, irrespective of those quiet voices telling you to pull the blanket over your head. And when you say yes to people or no to people, make sure that your yes is actually agreement and not the lack of a will to disagree, trying to be popular around those people. So your boundaries are really important. Relationships, you're the one who choose those people. Choose them intelligently. Choose them because they have a purpose in your life and not just because they are there. Because some of those relationships are the most critical ones. They bring you down, they run you down. And others are comfort zones. They bring the pity blanket. When you say something stupid, instead of challenging you, they condone, they join you in the gossip. Because misery loves company. You need friends that will look you in the eye and tell you when you're going wrong. Tell you that these bruises on your face that are coming from the partner are becoming too much, that you need to do something about it, that you need to move in it with them if you need that support. Friends who will tell you the truth and risk that friendship above everything. Because when it comes to friends, you cannot milk a cow and have orange juice. So align yourself with friends who have that value in your life. And the final one is for you to take action. Not taking action means ending up with blank pages of your book. Remember, you're the dream bearer. Remember, you're the serve leader. Remember, you're the author of that story. So no action is a guaranteed failure. But even if you take the action and fail, you will learn from it and keep up going. But here's the thing that we keep missing. What if that action actually succeeds? What if you took that job and actually became the best person in that company? What if you actually went and became the best mom in that relationship? Whatever that scares you, you're the leader, you're the decision maker, you're the dream bearer. So change those aspects in you, and then all the other aspects in those dreams and those visions will come true. So that's my message. What is it that you can accept as unchangeable, out of your control? And what is it that you can accept as within your control? And that you need to put that actions plan into place to change it. And finally, the wisdom to know the difference. Because that wisdom, that initial identification that this thing is out of my control, this thing is unchangeable, that's what will help you to put it to rest. And this thing is within my control, that's what will help you to nurture that leadership skill, to nurture that dream and that vision and make it come true one day. So thank you for reflecting with me. Take some time to really think about this message, implement it, and most importantly, share it, because that's what we do in this channel. We empower ourselves, but most importantly, we support each other. Have a lovely, lovely day and be the biggest boss that you can possibly be in your leadership role. Take care.